about featuring projects that highlight ways in which AA, through easy and consented sharing of cross-sectoral data, can deliver a superior customer experience, innovative and affordable products across the 4 financial sectors. Can you all hear me at the back? Yeah? Okay. So our first session is a show and tell. It is on the humble passbook, Reimagining Trust, courtesy the BC network. Even though transactions have become digital, updating the passbook largely to check the balance continues to require a branch visit involving hours of their productive time for most individuals in the rural areas. The team of Atyati have found a very simple solution to the problem. Today we have with us Mr. Prakash Prabhu, who is the CEO of Atyati Last Mile Community, speaking to us on this. Mr. Prakash Prabhu is a veteran IT expert with over 25 years of experience in the domain. As CEO of Atyati, he continues to add strategic value while leading Atyati towards newer growth objectives, keeping in mind the vision of Atyati, which is solving the challenge of reaching the unreached with their technology and distribution expertise. They offer last mile services in a transparent, efficient, and an effective manner. I would like to call upon Mr. Prakash Prabhu. Along with him will be Mr. Alok Kashyap, joining him on stage. He is the business head, alternate. No? Okay, he's not. Okay. That's fine. Mr. Prakash Prabhu is going to do this on his own. So huge round of applause to him. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have got Ravindra, who is our bank Mitra, on behalf of IDFC First Bank. He runs a small BC outlet in Bhivandi, which is at the outskirts of, used to be outskirts of Bombay, but now is part of Bombay itself. So primarily that's what he does. So what we will do is we will sort of, I will act as a customer and go to him saying that I want an account statement of mine to be printed for the last X weeks. So that's really what we will sort of demonstrate the entire thing through the AA framework. So that's really what we will do. So now we need to give the consent for, it goes into the NADL side, which is, so NADL is the account aggregator that we have integrated with. So here I'll choose the accounts for which I require the account statement.
So now if you see here, it is giving the validity period, the range of the
date for which you require it, the availability of consent for what you are giving it, all information is available which you can modify it. And then as a customer, I will say, approve this. So then as a IDFC bank Mitra, he shows me all the account statement of mine based on timestamp with a value date, whether it is a debit transaction, credit transaction, what is the value of the amount and what the balance is for every transaction, just like an account statement which you can typically take on a net banking kind of a thing, which then I can actually download it. And then he has a normal A4 size printer, not a passbook printer, the normal A4 size printer, which he uses to sort of print my account statement, which will then come like your normal bank statement itself, which will be written downstairs at the bottom end, saying that this is computer generated account statement and does not require any further signature. So that's really what this entire thing would be. So that's the entire process around this. I would like to take this opportunity to sort of ask Ravindra a few questions so that he can sort of. Ravindra ji, आप क्या करते हैं?
मैं बैंक मित्र हूँ IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक का।
अगर जो आपने देखा जो आपके पास अकाउंट स्टेटमेंट का फीचर है उसके वो आपके कस्टमर्स को आपके हिसाब से अच्छा लगेगा, ज़रूरत है उनको, क्या लगता है आपको?
जी हाँ, ज़रूरत तो है, क्योंकि पहली बात यह है कि बैंक में आप कभी भी जाओ, आपको स्टेटमेंट निकालने का बोलेगा तो बोलेंगे प्रिंटर ख़राब है या स्टाफ कम है, इसकी वजह से प्रिंट आउट नहीं मिलता। दूसरी बात है, समझो हम बीसी लोग किसी कस्टमर के ट्रांजेक्शन करते तो सामने उनके घर वाले बोलते पैसा आया नहीं, तो कभी कभी क्या होता है, वो एटीएम से पैसा निकालने आता है तो ट्रांजेक्शन टाइम आउट होता है, वो 6-7 दिन के लिए टाइम आउट होता है, तो उनके लोग कहते हैं कि इधर पैसा नहीं, तो हम लोगों को वो हेडेक होता है, तो उनको वो स्टेटमेंट निकाल के देंगे तो हम लोगों का भी हेडेक दूर हो जाएगा, उनको भी स्टेटमेंट तुरंत मिलेगा, यानी कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं रहेगा.
We personally believe that this will actually be significantly helpful for the BC community, where the fundamental issue of a customer needing to go to a bank branch for account statement, and these are set of customers who are not in this room, but people who actually do not have net banking facilities and all of those related things, who necessarily need to go to a bank branch to do a passbook printing, or Bank Mitra like him needs to install a 35,000 specialized passbook printer in his place and then sort of generate that, which obviously is far more time consuming, as well as far more from an economics point of view also doesn't work, because 35,000 rupees he has to spend vis-a-vis a normal A4 size printer which is costing 3,000-4,000 rupees itself. So that's really how we see it. So thank you so much, Ravindra ji. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you have any questions, more than happy to answer.
Hi. I really liked it. Is this on what device was it? This was a smartphone?
It is on a. It works on any device actually.
Okay.
The device which we have given to our Bank Mitra is a complete micro ATM. So if you see, it's a tablet device here with a thermal printer, a biometric sensor, and a card reader. So it's a complete micro ATM as what the industry calls it. But it can work on a desktop, or it can work on a laptop or a mobile phone as well. So it works on any one of them.
And a mobile phone which is not smart, will it work there?
So this is this is an account statement which you require to do when you walk to a bank BC Mitra.
Yeah.
So he typically will always have a device,
Okay.
which is typically specified from an RBI point of view as a micro ATM, which typically requires either a laptop or a desktop or a tablet
Okay.
with a UIDI enabled fingerprint sensor, a card reader, and a thermal printer. So this is a mandatory thing for which they will have. Now, if we enable passbook account statement printing for him, instead of buying a passbook printer, he can buy just a 4,000 rupees A4 size printer.
Understood. Thank you.
Can you all get
No, this is part of the app which we have already got as part of the Bank Mitra's app. So this is what will be available with any of the Bank Mitras whom we work with.
No, suppose me as an individual wanted to see my bank balance now.
Correct.
Can that be done?
So you will have to come to him and give your phone number, and based on your phone number, we have integrated with account aggregator called NADL. It will go to NADL, get the list of the things. Then you will specify, like we have specified the list of the banks. So you will choose your bank. If it's already there as part of the, because most of the banks are available, you'll choose the bank, the list of accounts which you want the account statement for, and then you'll go through exactly the same process.
Okay, can we try this?
See, what we were told because it's a public forum, privacy of personal information is very critical.
Yeah, that's true,
So
true.
that's the reason why we don't want to sort of...
Yeah, I can understand.
so-
I can understand. Okay, thank you very
But
much.
yes, otherwise it's possible, absolutely.
Yeah, so if I give my details, then it can be done, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Thanks.
My question is for the gentleman.
हाँ.
हाँ, आपको दिन में कितने रिक्वेस्ट आते हैं नॉर्मली? आपको कितने इंक्वायरीज आती है
कितने ट्रांजैक्शन
प्रिंट आउट के लिए?
सर मैं दिन में 50 से 60 ट्रांजेक्शन करता हूँ.
और आप जहाँ रहते हो, मतलब जहाँ आपका ये बैंक मित्रा है,
हाँ.
वहाँ पे कितने बैंक्स हैं? लाइक नॉर्मली कितने बैंक्स हैं?
सर हमारे यहाँ पे नॉर्मली कम से कम 15 से 20 बैंक है.
ओके, सो मतलब उनको लाइन बचाने के लिए वो नॉर्मली
हाँ,
So they are live, right, on the account aggregator network. Okay. Okay.
जो कस्टमर्स आते हैं वो कौन से वो भिवंडी में रहते हैं कि क्या उनका
जी
profile
सर,
क्या है?
हमारे यहाँ पे जो भी है वो सब मजदूर लोग रहते हैं, वो लूम खाते में काम करते हैं, फिर अपना पेमेंट जो रहता है वो टाइम पे घर पे भेज देते हैं। तो कभी कभी ये इश्यू आता है कि उनको पैसा नहीं मिलता है, तो कभी कभी क्या होता है, फ्रॉड भी होता है। कोई बीसी वहाँ से पैसा एपीएस से निकाल लेते हैं सामने वाले को, और उनको बोलते हैं आया ही नहीं है, तो वो लोग इधर हेडेक देते हैं, फिर वो बोलेंगे कि मेरा पैसा तो पहुँचा ही नहीं है। तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, स्टेटमेंट हम लोग निकाल के उनको दिखा सकते भाई ये यहाँ पे पैसा चला गया है आपका, तो वो तो इमीडिएटली उधर उनसे मिल सकते
उनके
हैं।
घर वाले कहाँ रहते हैं रविंद्र
वो
जी?
तो यूपी बिहार वही के रहेंगे, और एक तो उनके यहाँ से बैंक 40-40 50-50 किलोमीटर दूर रहते हैं। दूसरी बात तो बैंक सपोर्ट भी नहीं करती कभी कभी कि नहीं आज नहीं कल आओ, कभी कभी एक हफ्ते के बाद आओ, ऐसा करेंगे, तो उनका वो वेटिंग में चला जाता है।
See, that is a fundamental reason why we believe that this can be very successful for this set of customers who primarily, if they go to bank branches, are not welcomed from a passbook printing point of view.
But
So that is the primary use
would
case.
IDFC like install this setup in a
Yes.
in a location where IDFC is not there?
No, so this is
I'm just asking.
yeah.
in
So
general.
so this setup and because it's an completely interoperable thing. So you could be any bank's customer and you can come here, even though he's primarily from IDFC bank. It's like an ATM. It's an interoperable ATM kind of a thing. That's the reason why we call it micro ATM, because it's supposed to sort of be a miniaturized version of that with a human ATM kind of a thing. So
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a questions regarding this. Suppose this journey has been completed by this person. So under which sections or which purpose code this will be covered? Like 101 to 105? Yeah.
Sorry, Prakash, I know what he's asking. So the closest purpose code that comes out of the 5 to this is 103. Right? While that is typically used for underwriting by lenders, the purpose description says aggregated statement. So the closest that comes there is 103, but the community should discuss really what use cases which are fundamentally, because this is not just about display, it's about providing the aggregate statement through a new channel. It's about enabling the
Because he
convenience.
is not doing underwriting parts.
Yeah, there's no underwriting. So while today lenders use 103 for underwriting, this use case should probably be matched to 103.
Okay, thank you.
I guess, this is a very good use case, Vamsi. Thank you for this, and Prakash. I guess this is very good for assisted banking, because as you mentioned that, there are a lot of time people can do on their own. You can go and request on your mobile app or website or something. But this is a very good use case where people themselves are not able to do it, and where the banks or the branch networks or the ATMs are not that supportive. So this account statement will be very helpful, जैसा कि इन्होंने भी बताया कि इस तरह के सारे customers जो खुद नहीं कर सकते, जिनको किसी की मदद लेके करना पड़ता है, that's where it will be very helpful.
Absolutely.
I think kudos to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a question on the consent mechanism. They had a field that said you could give a date till consent. So if the customer or the BC puts a consent for say 1 year, then for the next year, can they access the account without any OTPs
no, so he doesn't have access at all to the.
Okay.
So he doesn't have access at all to the account statement. So it is shown there, and then the moment that screen disappears, he can at best print it out directly and give it to the customer through the A4 size printer. But once that transaction is over, then he has no access to any of those things.
So even if you give consent for a period of 1 year or whatever?
Not at all. So he's
it's
not
only
giving,
one-time use each time?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
From an account statement point of view, it's just one-time usage. Sorry? Yeah. So the download which was there was more a print kind of a mechanism, because it sort of creates a PDF file and then passes it to the printer.
Is it supported by only main bank, mainstream bank, or small finance bank or cooperative bank? What about
Any banking institution can use this. So it's interoperable. So whoever is there on the AA platform can actually access this.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Will the PDF be deleted at the end of the day?
Sorry?
Will the PDF be deleted at the end of the day?
No, the PDF is used only for printing purposes and not for anything else.
But it will get saved, isn't it?
No, it's not getting saved. It will get printed, and so instead of the download statement, it's actually a print statement. So it actually prints it and then deletes every trace which is there in the system.
And the customer who is from another bank, identified through Aadhaar or which method?
So that is primarily the entire consent mechanism where you get an OTP through a mobile phone and you sort of give a consent. So that's really how it happens.
But it's not biometric.
No, it's not biometric.
Oh, thank you.
That's all. Thank you so very much.
Hi. One question here, Mr. Prabhu. Yes, one last question. So there will be three.
Can you please stand up?
Yes. So hi, this is Amar. So there will be three questions. One is on the access. The second would be on the authentication.
Sorry, second will be on?
Authentication.
Okay.
Third would be on how it can make sense for a rural customer which is not understanding the language on the screen. Okay, so I will ask three things. One is access is like we are, so the gentleman already asked the question like we are doing it through a OTP. An OTP which is in a rural setup, there is a single mobile which would be kind of used by the entire family. So which means technically as a son, I can take my mother's phone to the BC outlet and do any transaction or do this account statement. So which is a risk because RBI says like it is a personal information, so information has to, there should be no. Yeah, and the second is on accessibility and authentication, which is where I see approve button this is an assisted model. So approve button is pressed by the BC itself, not the customer. The customer does not get to see what is there on screen. If consider I am a person who do not understand English, I would not understand what is there on screen. So I do not know what I am being authenticated for. Third would be, does it work for a BC who is taking a printout? The interoperability charges for kind of a account statement would be very, very minimal. So how does it make sense for a BC to earn money and take a print, PDF and all that? I mean, yeah.
Sure. So let's go to the first question of mobile numbers. So what we have found is that in a rural family, typically they have multiple phones, but they have only one smartphone. And this doesn't require a smartphone. So multiple phones are available. It is just that they have only one smartphone. So that's point number one. So it's actually multiple people have multiple phones. So that's point number one. Second, which is there is that we are sort of creating a very specific, very, very specific and niche use case from an account aggregator point of view here. So it's primarily to enable account statement printing to be done and nothing else. So there is nothing else that the BC agent can do with any of the consents which you are providing. It is a one-time consent, purely meant for only account statement printing. Because there is a very clear use case that we believe is required in an assisted kind of a model for the huge set of customer base who are of that class of society. So that's really what it is. So hence, while some of the questions what you are asking is right, the same challenge is there even if you look at it from a assisted agent-led model point of view also. So exactly the same questions which you have asked is exactly there in the thing where I might put a biometric, but I don't know whether whether I'm withdrawing 500 rupees, whether he's actually put 200 rupees in the system or 1,000 rupees, I don't know the answer. So the challenges which you have mentioned are there inherently in an assisted kind of a model. But this is a very, very specific use case in the entire account aggregator thing to ensure that the risk is as minimal as possible because it's only account printing which happens.
Understood. Thank you. Understood.
Thank you so very much.
Please stay, please. No, please stay. Thank you so much for both of you to be here. And sir, you being here actually made it more meaningful. You're actually the user of the process. So we just want to say thank you to you. I'm calling upon Mr. Vamsi Madhav to felicitate both of them. Please go.
wanted to get more people who are actually going to benefit. Huge round of applause for Prakash for doing this for us as a special gesture and for getting sir here. थोड़ा और feedback दीजिएगा हमें बाद में कैसे ठीक करना है. Thank you very much.
I think many of you had more questions. You can ask him in the tea break. I'm sure they'll be outside. So.
This is part of our, we've got 3 sessions that we call strategic showcases, which push the boundaries of thinking. There are several questions I can see, which, and I didn't know Prakash would be put onto the spotlight. But the whole idea was to stoke more thought in terms of how this can really, sort of benefit. So this is a small thank you, appreciation to the entire team that did this. Thank you so much.